Call the city council meeting October 17th, Thursday at 7:03 p.m. to order. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. The invocation will be provided by Pastor Keith Sanford from Family Outreach Ministries.
Thank you very much. God bless all of you. I just want to give honor to my pastor, George Becerra and Thatcha from Journey to the Cross. And I want to just pray God's abiding presence and protection over us in these days, that we can be certain that the Lord is always going to be with us. And if we're with him, he said that we're more than the world against us. Father, as we bow our heads and we pray to you today, God, we ask you for divine protection. Like you said in Psalms 91, the theme of Psalms 91 is divine protection. And I ask you for divine protection over our leadership, over our mayor, council members, over the chief and the fire chief as well, Father. I ask you to come inside our hearts, inside of our homes, Lord, and turn rebellion into revival. Lord, I pray your precious blood over each and every one of our children, that you would keep them safe from all hurt, harm, and danger, and that you would go before us and be our rear shield. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. In Jesus' name, I thank you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mission statement: the city of Kirby is dedicated to delivering excellent municipal services to our community in a fiscally responsible manner. Please call roll.
Councilmember Grant? Absent. Councilmember Lozano?
Here.
Councilmember Sanchez?
Here.
Councilmember Hitt?
Here.
Councilmember Molina?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Here.
Mayor Greider?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to 5, citizens to be heard. We have Dr. Susan Street. Please step up to the podium. Timer.
Susan Street, good evening, Council. I'm wondering about several things tonight. Let's start with the city calendar on the website. Why isn't it being updated? The council meetings have not been adjusted to the new dates voted on by this council. The crime control meeting wasn't on the calendar and their agenda wasn't posted on the website. They are a spending tax money entity, so their agendas need to be posted per the requirements of the Open Meetings Act. The Open Meetings Act states that if you have a website, the agenda must be posted on it 72 hours prior to the meeting. Is this so difficult to do? Transparency is not this government's strong suit. Speaking of transparency, the approved budget for this fiscal year has not yet been posted to the website. The audit was accepted, sort of, 2 meetings ago, and that hasn't been posted yet either. Now, someone did post the letter from the Edwards Aquifer regarding the stage 4 water restrictions. However, there was no information regarding the change in how often what residents can water. I pulled that information from the city of San Antonio and posted it on Facebook, but it needs to be posted on the city website. The website and Facebook page still have stage 3 posted. And was there some kind of glitch at the senior center last week? I understand Meals on Wheels didn't deliver for several days. And there is a job posting for a program specialist for the senior center. Interesting qualifications required for that. And also listed on the employment page is a special projects officer with grant writing as a qualification. I'm not sure why you need one of those when you have Councilwoman Hitt up there to write grants. I seem to recall our current mayor objecting to me working on grants when I was on council. Well, the admin budget has been increased by $110,000, so I guess we have enough to pay a grant writer, or I should say special projects officer. There are more change orders on the agenda, but since the packet isn't posted, I have no idea what they're for. There isn't much on this agenda with any substance. I don't see an agenda item for council members to share about going to TML either. Residents weren't even informed about who went. There's that transparency again. All right, well, I'm just going to head back to the house and watch the rest of this at home. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Moving on to 6, consideration of an action on meeting minutes. A, regular meeting minutes, September 30th.
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes dated September 30th, 2024.
We have a motion to accept regular meeting minutes, September 30th. First by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca, second by Councilmember Molina. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano,
Abstain.
Councilmember Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
Mayor Greider.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Moving on, B, regular meeting minutes, October 2nd.
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept the regular meeting minutes dated October 2nd, 2024.
I second.
We have a motion to accept regular meeting minutes, October 2nd. First by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca, second by Councilmember Hitt. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
Mayor Greider.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to 7, update on Ackerman Road project. Mr. Bain?
Want me to take care of it? Good afternoon, good evening. Of course, my name's Carl Bain. I'm with Bain Engineers. And we had a meeting on Tuesday with the contractor to discuss Ackerman Road project. And the update is they are working on Ackerman Road, still working on the subgrade between Cinderella and Sparkling Lane. They're working on the sidewalk between Harris Road and File Road. And they're working on the driveway there at Ackerman and Old Seguin Road on there. They do have barricades on Gibbs Sprawl, but they haven't been working on that this week. And as you are aware, they're also working on Hedwig, installing that sewer line that was included with the change order. They're at Hedwig at Ballman. And so they've started, they've gone across Ballman with the sewer line and they already patched the pavement, as you could see out there. And they're continuing up Hedwig on there. They also wanted to work on Ballman at the same time, and we recommended that they not work on Ballman at the same time while they're working on Hedwig on there. So that's with Ackerman Road. Any questions?
Does the city have anything to present?
Not on Ackerman project. We asked that Bowman be hesitated until they finish, at least get cleaned up on Hedwig. We determined that the street is more narrow on Bowman, and it's just not enough room for both of those streets to be torn up at the same time. The fire truck would not be able to get to the residents if they needed to, and they can only ride on the wrong side of the street if they had to. Because of the current structure of the street right now, it's very dangerous for someone to try to get through those concrete barriers and have all both streets torn up at the same time. So we ask that they delay the Bowman work until the Hedwig is finished, because it's also torn up on Gibbs Sprawl. And so people do not have a way to.
So help me understand why we haven't completely finished Ackerman Road. Then we go up towards, what is that, Gibbs Sprawl right there? That would still be considered Gibbs Sprawl? Okay. And then we tear up that area. And then we tear up over here. And I'm just kind of like, why are we jumping around? And I mean, because the thing is, it's not, I mean, the citizens are actually asking of, you know, they're like, they didn't finish that part. Now they tore up Gibbs Sprawl. And then now all of a sudden over here is torn up. So it's just kind of like, I'm confused of what is the mindset of this project, or why are we starting on one area and then just jumping to a whole nother side of town and then going back?
Well, there's a couple of reasons for that. Of course, they're trying to set up their schedule to try to finish earlier than what the contract requires. A second thing is they have contractors doing different work. So they have one subcontractor that's doing the flat work, which is the sidewalk, the curb, and the driveways. They have a different subcontractor that's doing the utility work, which is the storm sewer and the sanitary sewer on there. So the reason they're jumped over here to Hedwig is so that they can get the sanitary sewer installed first, and then they get the storm sewer installed up Hedwig second. So then they come back in and do the roadway work after that on there. And then, of course, they are supposed to be working on the intersection of Ben Zingelman and down there at the beginning of the project. And so hopefully they'll finish that in 2 to 3 weeks and open up that intersection. But yes, they are jumping around a lot. And the city manager made them aware that we weren't happy with not completing parts of it where they should.
Okay. Anybody have anything else?
But just to help out on explaining that as well, Madam Mayor, is, the work that's being done over here on Gibbs Sprawl and Hedwig here, it's the underground stuff. I mean, whether it be the drainage over here on Hedwig and or the sanitary sewer, and on Gibbs Sprawl, the storm drain. What's going on Ackerman at the beginning of the street is more the sidewalks and the street itself, where they're doing what we call dirt work. And that's two different crews, and you need to do the underground stuff before they can come over here and finish up. As you can see, and I drove it this afternoon, there's more of the street completed, in the middle section where both sides have already started to show as being the base, what we call the base, down. Question was asked also about it having to be complete. Well, there's the last 2 inches, 2.5 inches, Mr.
2.5 inches.
2.5 inches. That's what we like to say, the icing on the cake that'll still need to be installed. There's also still some work that needs to be done at the intersection of Ackerman and Ben Zingelman, which is the southbound lanes, which is going to actually close down that whole intersection there. And as you can see, that's where everybody's going around and going through, right there in front of the VFW. Well, once they open up the other side where everybody wants to go on Ben Zingelman towards Walmart, they're going to start working on that section that everybody's jumping to, and that intersection is going to be closed. And that work's going to take, Carl, 3 weeks?
About 3 weeks to
About
finish.
3 weeks to complete. So, we get done or they get done with one portion of it, which is that one half, and you'll be coming north on Ackerman Road, and you'll be able to turn probably and go towards Walmart, but then it'll be closed the other direction where you won't be able to come down Ben Zingelman to get across the intersection, because that work needs to be completed. So, I just want everybody to be aware of that, we are going to, or they're going to open up that intersection coming north, but then they're going to close it going south, which is going to affect the whole intersection. I'm sorry to say it that way, but I know nobody likes to hear that, and everybody's going to think that, there has to be something, but that's reality. I mean, you have to work, and it can't be done in one day, It has to be cut up, and you need to put in the proper compaction on the subgrade, what we call, which is existing ground, and then bring it back up with base to be able to get into it. So
Okay. And the estimated time you said for Ben Zingelman was again to be open?
Well, it's going to take about 3 weeks once they open up the north side and start working on the west, or not on the north side, they're northbound, but once they open the east side of it, on the west side, they've got about 3 weeks of work to do the excavation, do the flat work, and then finally put the black base in there.
And has there ever been any talks about having the work done at night to speed this up? Because I was talking to some people last week at TML, and we were talking about, you know, things happening at nighttime that can speed up. Have we considered that?
Well, nighttime work is, of course, more expensive because you've got to have lights and a lot of safety issues at doing the work at night. That's more of the highways where the nighttime work goes on when you have a lot more traffic going on the freeways. So you do your nighttime work because you close off lanes on the freeways to narrow it down to either one lane, or you divert them off of the main highway and onto the frontage road. So that's why they end up doing night work on the interchanges and major highways. You don't really see night work going on neighborhood streets or local type streets or even collector streets, just because first thing, the noise and traffic from that disturbing your neighbors, residents that are trying to sleep, because this is, you know, part residential neighborhood. So that's probably one of the main reasons, but the other reason is cost and safety to the contractor. So that's why, you know, we build these roads half at a time, which how they've been doing this project is they, you know, built one half of it with the traffic on the other half, and then they move traffic over and build the other half. And so the issue, of course, on Ackerman is the first half required all the utilities to be installed, the storm sewer and the sanitary sewer adjustments. The second half, you don't have utilities because they're all already been installed. So it goes a little faster for the second half of the roadway. But
Okay. And safety wise, you did bring that up. I know I witnessed this week, right out here, some very unfriendly drivers when the barricades were put up because it was
Yes.
blocked off. I was like, I'm glad. I just want to say to the workers who were out there, they handled themselves well, because I would have been saying some more things to that individual because he could have he was going to hit them pretty much, like the way the truck peeled out and stuff. They're not following the track. I mean, it was very dangerous. I mean, you could hear it. It was craziness. And I witnessed that a couple of times. So as far as safety wise, what are we going to do about it? Especially right here, like you said, it's too small, it's too congested already. What are we going to do about that as far as safety?
well, we have the signs, and then of course, you know, they have in the past used off-duty police officers, but of course that's not in their contract and price.
Mhm.
And so the deal is that, yes, we could do a change order and either have them hire off-duty police officers, or the city hire directly off-duty, or use their own police force to help direct traffic and control some of those irate drivers that are going through there. So that's
Okay.
the options that you have.
Because early voting is coming up, and I'm actually very nervous of how this is going to work over there with early voting over here.
I am asking the police chief to provide additional officers in this location where it's congested, especially at Ben Zingelman's end and down here where it's a lot of construction. The construction equipment itself is very large, so it's no room for cars to really pass by, even though that side is open. But the street kind of bends down, so the cars are kind of half in the ditch and half on the street. And then you have bulldozers coming down the street against them. I don't know if they have flagmen out there. I haven't seen any, but.
Well, they need to have flagmen
Yeah, it's
when they're
getting
moving
kind of
equipment.
dangerous.
And if there isn't, then I'll have to
Yes,
speak with them about it.
And that's why we didn't think
And
it
I'll
would
get
be
David
good
to look
to
into it.
have them turn that corner and have that torn up too, because it would be a disaster. Because people are getting frustrated
Oh, yeah.
and they are trying to fly or they fly through the parking lot of City Hall. And you have people, elder people walking out to their cars and these trucks are just cutting through, speeding.
Lozano?
Yes, I'm glad you brought up that flagman, because I thought in the contract that it did say that they would provide a flagman, and not necessarily an off-duty officer, but a flagman. And that's what they were doing initially, and they had all the issues with, the people not obeying them. But maybe they can start with that as well, at least flagmen in that area to help with that, the traffic congestion and any, irate drivers. The other thing is, just for clarification, you said the Benzingelman and the Ackerman intersection, the work is supposed to start, did you say like in 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks?
Oh, no, it's probably in another week we'll start,
In another week, and then from there, it'll take
about 3 weeks.
around 3 weeks. Okay. And the other thing I wanted to mention is on that street, Gaiety, the one right next to Ackerman,
Okay.
the trucks that pick up the debris and all that left a whole lot of rock and asphalt and everything behind when they took it today. And so if they can address that, maybe cover it up or maybe come back and sweep it up, because I know our Public Works had just recently done the street sweeping.
Could you send a picture or an email to the city manager and she can forward it to me
I sure can.
as
Yes.
far as exactly where you need? And then I'll get David to go out there and talk to the contractor. And
Okay.
get him to clean that up. I just want to make sure I take care of exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
Yes, sounds good. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to 8A, discussion and possible action on rescheduling the November 28th Kirby City Council regular meeting. Everybody look at your calendars. So the 28th is Thanksgiving, correct? Okay, so obviously we won't be that, so the 28th, oh, that's what we're moving, the 28th. So it'll be the 21st or the 20th, sometime during that week. Because we already have a meeting on the 14th. So it has to be that week, the
21st?
It's up to y'all. What's the Thursday? I didn't even forgot my calendar, so it doesn't matter.
Calendar that you usually work.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I left my. Yeah, I left it. So y'all just pick the date, and I'll.
I'm good with the 21st, the week before.
All right, November 21st.
21st.
Okay. So somebody want to.
Mayor, I make a motion that we reschedule the November 28th meeting to November 21st, 2024.
Second.
We have a motion to reschedule the November 28th meeting to November 21st, 2024. First by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca, second by Councilmember Molina. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez? Councilmember Hitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Yes.
Mayor Greider?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to B, discussion and possible action on rescheduling the December 26th Kirby City Council regular meeting. So we have the 12th and the 26th.
How about moving it to December 19th?
that'll work for me. And just for clarification, we would have the 12th and then the 19th? We would meet the week before?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Is everybody good with that? Yes. Somebody make a motion?
I make a motion that we move the December 26th city council meeting to December 19th, December 2024.
Second.
We have a motion to move the December 26th meeting to December 19th, 2024. First by Councilmember Molina, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
Mayor Greider,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on, discussion and possible action on resolution 2024-785, a resolution accepting change order 1. Alamo City Constructors is requesting a change to the subgrade treatment for the Fox Cross Drive Street reconstruction and sanitary sewer replacement project.
Yes. Of course, my name's Carl Bain with Bain Meany Bain. We're the engineers for Fox Cross. Of course, you'd signed a contract a month or so ago, and the contractor has requested that we add a treatment of the subgrade, lime treated subgrade versus general compacted subgrade. And we had a meeting on Tuesday and discussed it, and he was supposed to give me some information. He did give me some information on Wednesday. I worked up a change order. I sent it to him. He still has some questions about it, the way I worked it up. So I don't want to take any action on it tonight, and I want to bring it back in a couple of weeks. But I do want to give you a little background on it while I'm here on there as far as the project and there. So they are going to start on the 21st. That'll be Monday. I know they'd talked about starting this last Monday, but they postponed it till starting this next Monday, just so that council and everybody's aware of when they're going to start, and they're going to start the sewer work on that. So that'll be the 21st that they'll be starting on there and starting the sewer work on there. As far as the subgrade and lime treated subgrade, the contractor feels that he'll give the city a better product by adding lime treated subgrade to the project versus just the standard compaction for the subgrade. The change would be adding lime treated subgrade and decreasing the black base from 6.5 inches to 5 inches. And then you'd have 2 inches of surface course on top of that. The lime does give you a little better working condition and hopes to contain the movement on there in the long term. Both pavement designs provide 20-year lives. The issue is the amount of maintenance that you might have to do on the pavement over that 20-year life. Any pavement that you put down, you have to do some kind of maintenance. Whether it's asphalt or concrete, there are maintenance required during the life of the project. Even though it's designed for 20 years, that doesn't mean you construct it and then 20 years you do it again. It means that over the life of the project, you still need to do some type of maintenance on it, whether it's crack seal for asphalt or sealing joints on there. So based on that, they have given a good, reasonable price for the work, but I'm still negotiating some of the things with them as far as some of the credit. And that's why I wanted to hold off on bringing that to you. I need to talk to them about it and make sure we're all in agreement of how we're going to handle the change order and how we pay it moving forward. So I'd like you just to table that, but I'm open to questions on the project or questions on the change order now, and then we'll bring it back the next time.
Okay. Councilmember Lozano?
Yes, so just to confirm, you said that the durability and the warranty with the changes of subgrade would remain the same?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's all I had. Thank you.
And I think they're so confident about the lime, they're going to stand behind it even stronger than they would have based on the original design.
Oh,
On
great.
there.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
Yes, it's my understanding that they were starting to move material here this week. They were going to get their manholes
They're supposed to get their manholes delivered today or
or
tomorrow.
tomorrow, right? And
Right.
then probably some of their
A pipe.
piping and
They definitely have
gravel.
pipe and gravel and stuff like that.
Okay.
So you
and
might
then
have some of that.
to be
going.
ready to go on Monday.
Ready to go on
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah,
So they
'cause-
already have signs out there
Right.
and barricades and things
Right.
already on the site.
Right,
On there.
that's what I was going to get to that. They already have their detour, some of their detours already up and everything. Do we know if we've notified any of the residents of the schedule?
Yes, yes, we have.
Okay,
Mr. Farmer's team went out and did the door knockers with all of the residents.
okay. Thank you.
Councilmember Lozano?
And do we know more or less the timeframe, how long it would take for the job to be completed?
Well, it's a 6-month contract.
Okay.
So, and the notice to proceed was a few weeks ago on there. So they anticipate getting it finished sooner than 6 months on there, but they've got it as far as 6 months. So 6 months from the kind of the 1st of September, or the middle of September is when they're supposed to be finished.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Anyone else? Okay, so you said we're bringing this back, correct? All right,
Yes.
thank you. Okay, moving on to D, discussion and possible action on resolution 2024-786, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Ace Quality Utility Associates to adjust the City of Kirby water main.
Mayor, council, this item is necessary. First of all, let me back up. This is an item that we're trying to expedite some of the water improvements and water leaks, address those by our staff. I asked Public Works to go out and find out if we could get a contractor to come in and help us with some of the larger leaks. And we asked this contractor to give us a cost estimate to do some of the work for us so we could expedite the process of repairing all of the leaks. And so this contractor fixed the leak that is located on FM 78 at Gibbs Sprawl. There was a major water leak. It probably came on the news and everything, and they came out and fixed that leak. So we asked them to give us a cost of this one because it's necessary to move that water main to the middle of the street or into the street, more or less. And because the bedding that's under the main currently is insufficient. And so this project, they gave us a price for it at $20,000, and we're bringing this to you for approval. Doing this will help us mitigate some of the water issues and the main damages that may impact the delivery of water to some of our citizens, and we want to get this approved now.
For Melina?
And where's this water main at?
This is on Boatman.
Okay,
I'm going to defer to Mr. Farmer to give you more details on that.
okay.
On Boatman there where the creek is at, we've had barricades up, I guess, for about a year or so.
Mhm.
What it is, it's a stretch out there that got a leak in it, and I guess it eroded away with the leak going on, to where there's not enough proper base to support that 12-inch main. So if we move it over into the street more, that will give us the foundation we need to support it, so it doesn't have a chance of pulling out of the connection pieces. And we've already got valves already installed there, so we can just connect right into the valves, but we don't want it to pull out even if we're using the proper type of connection devices. And what that will do in the end is if we have to shut down water somewhere, we actually have the backflow like we're supposed to have of being 2 directions, so that when we shut down one valve, we don't turn off water to everybody. We actually have the ability to shorten the amount of people that are out, like we've had issues here recently of shutting down 4 or 5 valves because of having an issue. Whether it's a Hero Help is in that area, we're having to do that. We'll be able to continue with water going to everybody without having to shut down a lot of people at one time if we have a leak.
So they'll be installing another additional valve for closure on that?
No, sir, it already has a valve on each side of the creek. They put those in, I guess, when they found the leak.
Uh-huh.
And I guess at that time, the cost was not something that was wanted to be spent to fix it, but I feel that we really need to have it so we have proper water supply if we do have a leak anywhere in that area, in that particular neighborhood area, so that we don't have to shut down, 2 or 3 blocks worth of people. We can just shut down just the immediate area where the issue is at instead of shutting down extra people and causing more problems.
So when when this work gets done, how many residents will it affect and how long will it take?
It's not going to affect anybody while we're doing it, because we already have the valve shut off, because that's where the valves are on each side of where the leak presently is off the old line, off the old main. So once we get it all connected, then it just makes it to where we have a constant water flow. If we have to shut off a little bit further down or something, we don't cut off, say the whole street of Boatman.
Mm-hmm.
We can shut down literally where we need to work at instead of having to shut down the whole street. So instead of taking out all the residents without water for any time, it will be a smaller portion of people, which is more efficient for everybody, for us, and we can get the job done quicker then. And also, it keeps the residents from being without water for as many residents anyhow.
And how long do we expect that to take?
It will take about 1 day.
Oh, it'll only
Where they're
take a
talking,
day.
they should be able to have it done in 1 day. They'll come in and do all the major work, and then we'll come backfill it the next day after they get it all installed and start working on getting ready to work on the repairs of the street.
Okay, and we're gonna repair the street where it's damaged right there in the
Yes, we'll
culvert?
get the street back, and if it happens to be an area where we're going to be working at, we'll make it to where it's drivable without any problem. Then if we, at a later time, are going to be replacing that street, with a project, then, it'll all be looking the same then. But we also have the ability to repair that part of the street as well when they get done.
Yeah, because that portion of the street, I know it's been like that for a long time.
Yes, sir.
And one of the residents there, one day that I was walking, was asking when was that going to get done and stuff, because it's
Right.
been like that for a long time. So they'll probably do the relay first and then come back and do the tie-in the next day.
We've
So-
already got, like I said, we've already got valves already in place, so they're already shut off. So all they have to do is cut the old pipe out of the way and then go in with the new, do the reroute, and then it'll be finished out in 1 day. What they're saying, about 10 hours, something like that, they'll have it done.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Motion.
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept resolution number 2024-786, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Ace Quality Utility Associates to adjust the city of Kirby water main.
I second that.
We have a motion to accept resolution 2024-786, authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with Ace Quality Utility Associates to adjust the city of Kirby water main. First by Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca, second by Councilmember Hitt. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozada? Yes. Councilmember Sanchez?
Yes.
Councilmember Hitt?
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca?
Yes.
Mayor Greider?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Moving on to E, discussion and possible action on resolution 2024-787, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute Bain Medina Bain's proposal for the city of Kirby Civil Engineering Services Work Authorization Number 3, Change Order Number 1, Ackerman Road Project. Mr. Bain?
Yes. This is just to add some more money to our contract for construction administration services. On there, we did an estimate a couple of years ago when we first got this project to how much it would take to review the plans, put it out to bid, and then start the construction administration services on there. And there's been, of course, a number of change orders that we're aware of and RFIs and things like that. And of course, with all the changes that have gone on in the city, we spend a lot of time also out here doing kind of observing the work and documenting that. So we are asking for additional funds to be put into the contract so that and so that we can continue in servicing the construction administration services for this work. And we're getting paid, of course, by the hour that we spend time either at meetings or reviewing change orders or reviewing RFIs, responding to questions.
I have a question.
Councilmember Molina?
This shows that it'll go through January 1st of 2025.
Correct.
So if it, we're at the end of 24, and I think that contract goes, right now it shows to going through like June, if I remember, with the change orders.
I think it was a little earlier than that, but somewhere in.
Somewhere in that
Mhm.
vicinity. So if we go past that, we'll probably have to add to this, Mr. Bain?
Potentially, hopefully we're through almost all the change orders and all the issues, and it's just really attending meetings and doing periodic inspections
Right.
on there. So this was kind of estimated based on what we've spent in the past per month, but hopefully that will cut down now that we're getting closer to the end of the project on there. Of course, the contractors wants to finish before
Right.
June
Mhm.
or May. And
Yes.
their schedule shows finishing by the end of December, 1st of January. So that's why I proposed to go just through the 1st of January. And we can kind of see where we're at with that.
Okay.
Councilmember Lozano?
Yes, so you're requesting an adjustment or of 65,000?
Correct.
Is that what it
Additional
is?
funds added to the work order.
Okay. And that's up until January of 2024?
We're estimating through January,
Mhm.
but it really depends on how many hours I and my other employees work on the project and charge you for it.
Okay.
So it's not a fixed fee per month.
Mhm.
It's really how much time that me and my employees spend on it that we charge you. So if we don't spend as much time, then we won't charge you as much
Oh.
on there. So it's just kind of a guesstimate about how much time it's going to take to do that. I would anticipate that the amount of what we've spent and time for the months through the summer,
Mhm.
through the months to the end is going to be less because we don't have any revisions or change orders that I know about at this time. I think
Mhm.
we've covered all the issues. Now that once we get through this sewer and storm sewer, we're not going to do any underground work.
Mhm.
And that's where we got issues either with AT&T, with the water lines being in conflict, different things that we found that were in the ground that was a conflict that we had to work out an issue to design around and do a change order around. So hopefully that we won't be spending that 65,000, let me say that.
Okay, so on this, this graph or chart where it says total hours 522, that's, is that what
That's what I'm estimating right now
estimating?
through to January.
Through January?
Mhm.
Okay. So it's kind of hard for me to read it, but it says total fee proposal not to exceed 54, is that 54,560 or 64,000? Anybody see it?
It's 64,860 and we rounded it to 65.
64,60. Okay, and then the 140 for the printing and
Well,
miscellaneous?
it's just added to make it 65.
Okay,
We're really not going to have, I don't anticipate any miscellaneous, but we just rounded it to 65 to have it just an even number on there. But these are just estimated hours and we just charge you what we actually spend.
Ms. Applewhite, you have something?
I just want to clarify, this doesn't take us through January, it takes us to January 1. So it's not through the whole month of January.
okay. That's all.
Okay?
Mayor, I make a motion that we accept resolution number 2024-787, authorizing the city manager to execute Bain Medina Bain's proposal for the City of Kirby Civil Engineering Services Work Authorization Number 3, Change Order Number 1, Ackerman Road Project.
Second.
We have a motion to accept Resolution 2024-787, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute Bain Medina Bain's proposal for the City of Kirby Civil Engineering Services Work Authorization Number 3, Change Order Number 1, Ackerman Road Project. First, Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca, second, Councilmember Molina. Please call roll.
Councilmember Lozano,
Yes.
Councilmember Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilmember Hicks,
Yes.
Councilmember Molina,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Apodaca,
Yes.
Mayor Greider,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you. Moving on to 9, closed session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with city attorney. The City of Kirby City Council will convene in executive session on the following items. I, under 551.071 and 551.074, attorney consultation and personnel matters regarding the firefighter investigation. The regular meeting closes at 7:50 PM.